clock ticks on in Hartshorne as we see two groups of children fighting desperately towards an otherwise common school activity. In the halls, Stellan looks to his compatriots, and with a nod of grim approval, he lights the papers on fire and lifts them to the ceiling. It's not enough, though. Too far, too slow, too low. And as the embers cast off the tightly wound packet of registration papers, he lowers them back down. But the fire burns on, and it illuminates the exhausted yet determined faces of Amber and Lucy. The fire, now not only in his hands, but also reflected in their eyes. In the registration hall, Gage tries to charm the single-minded assailant, but his words don't register, and so she rushes forward. Arm extended, the third and fourth dot light up, and the crackle of energy ignites in her palm. But Gage is not slow to act. Grabbing her by the wrist, he pulls her arm up and away from his body as rivulets of energy trace harmlessly across his jacket. She grabs the neck of his guitar, and the sparks of contained lightning dance across the strings. What is lightning without thunder? Unknowing as to his reasons, Gage slams a chord. But it's not the percussive force of sound that knocks her back, but the force of her own lightning charge reverberating back against her. In the darkness, two girls lower their arms, fingers basketed into stirrups. Stellan looks at them with a mixture of awe and a sense of something he's never truly felt at home. Connection. He puts one foot into their collected hands, and blazing torch burning nearly out, he is thrown upward, arm outstretched. Together the three of them drive for what makes them tick. To belong, to shine, to fuck the system. Raymond types his last lines, a brilliant display of ad hoc genius. The lines are perfect, and that is when it hits him. The lines are perfect. No debug, no errors, no code comes out this clean, this fast on the first go-around. But there's no time. Packet encapsulated, tokens aligning, the hour has come, the clock will strike. He slams the button home, and it sends. In his mind's eye, he sees the tower of encryption blocking the uppermost layer spider crack and then shatter into 1,000 bits of data. His elation soars, but for the briefest moment, he sees it in the code, a symbol, one that fills him with dread even at the height of his victory. Something's in there. Something's watching. But Raymond is ready. Raymond can jam with the console cowboys in cyberspace. Megan gets up. She isn't furious, just intent. And Gage stands ready to defend his newfound friends when the alarm blares and the water begins to pour. The shock hits everyone, but for Megan, it is quite literal. As she falls back, the crowd of students rushing out overwhelms her, and she's lost to Gage's sights. Raymond hears the klaxon and the bottom of his stomach drops. But just as the first few drops begin to fall, a shroud falls over his computer. Looking down at the blackened floral pattern, Raymond lifts his head to see a waterlogged Malin smiling down at him. Don't worry, the inner lining is silicone. The three stand up, the now empty hall, as the last few drops of water patter down. They already accomplished the registration. There would seem no point. Nor does it seem to make sense for the three in the hall who have made it down the stairs as they approach the side entrance. But they all step forward. Not because the cream always rises to the top, but because you set out to do something together, and you're gonna finish it.